Alright everyone, welcome to the Super Mario Brother 4-way race between Tecate, SuperSonic, ACMLM, and 50% Gaming. Right now, our runners are getting ready for an all-out war to see who can get to 8-4 and defeat Bowser first. But without using any of the warp pipes, because this is warpless, so we actually get to see the whole game. Which I believe not a lot of us as kids actually did. We all use the warp zones, let's be real here. And before we get started, real quick, Cyclops donated $22 and says, here's a $22 Wario owes. Even Wario pays his debts. Good luck to all the runners in the SMB 1 race. And we have Raccoon Dog 24FPS who donated $15. Thank you. Mortrice donated $20. Says, well, for a good run of my Mega Man X, I need to get on the donation board. Thank you so much, everyone. And keep them coming. We're almost at the $10,500 mark, which will turn the Lost Levels run from any percent to any percent D4. So, how's everyone doing today? Y'all can
I'm happy that I'm not speaking French right now. So there's that.
I'm doing all right. Thank you for asking.
Awesome. And the other runners can actually unmute themselves. The way we're going to route this, you're going to be fine. You won't get any feedback.
So we've got a Tecate with us, we've got a SuperSonic with us, we've got an ACMLM with us, and then we're going to have two people commentating the run as well. We have Rupert83 and Dash Retro.
I'm Dash. And I'm super excited to be here. Bringing a warpless race of Super Mario Bros. 1 to you guys, because this is my favorite thing in the world to watch and talk about, is a good old-fashioned warpless race of one of the best games ever made and one of the most historic games ever made. And yeah, like G-Virus was saying, a lot of people just took the warp pipes when they were kids because it was just about beating the game, right? But we're going to be able to see all 32 levels here and have a proper difficulty curve. Well, except for World 5, maybe.
All right. Well, I mean, looks like we're all ready and set to go. So I shall give you the countdown and we'll go on my mark.
Sounds great to me. Good luck, everybody.
Thanks, 50. Good luck, everybody.
All right. So let's set the audio to 50% gaming, because we only get 50% of all the audio tracks, which is just a game feed, which is what we want. And if everyone's ready,
let's go.
Let's go. So Super Mario Brothers Warpless, it starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so we're thanks. So we see right away a couple of different people are playing on different cartridges. 3 of the 4 are using the Super Mario Bros. Duck Hunt split, while 50% has the world-class track meet version. No difference between the games, really. Functionally, they should all play exactly the same. In fact, even the Japanese version of the game on Famicom is 100% exactly the same. All of the text is still in English and all that, so it's a very easy game to run yourself. You don't have to worry so much about getting a certain version of it.
Yeah, as far as this race goes, it'll be interesting to see what kind of strats they take. Some of them will probably do big fire, which we see SuperSonic picking up fire here, and ACM is also going to do that. But 50 is a fan of small fire Mario, so I think we're probably going to see him set up and do that, which is it's a fun little glitch to do for this game. I think Tecate also does regular big fire as well, so 50 is going to be the one player that uses the different strat here. But it's a fun little strat, and it's interesting to see for those of you who have never seen it before.
Yeah, when we get to the first castle, keep your eye on 50% Gaming at the Bowser, and you'll see what happens there. And so the reason that firepower is good in the first place, it takes time to have to grab the power-ups and set it up. But the reason that it is preferred for players is because if you hit the axe at the end of a castle, you have to wait for the bridge to collapse and for Bowser to fall down. And it takes a few seconds to do that animation. But if you've already defeated Bowser with fireballs, then it skips that whole animation. And so among the 7 Bowsers that are timed, you end up saving time with firepower. Besides it also just being helpful in some other places.
So let's see.
That's going to be unfortunate.
Oof!
Oh, no.
Yeah, 50% gaming just...
Yeah,
so
takes
yeah,
a hit to the firebar there.
He was planning on setting up a glitch which requires him to be at least big on Bowser, but since he took a hit in the castle, we're gonna see what he does to make up for that. Whether he goes for the glitch again in the next castle, or if it's just big fire time. I'm thinking he's probably gonna try to set it up on the next castle.
Guess time will tell with that. So pretty much. SuperSonic and ACM just blasting everything out of the way in 2-1. 2-1s with fires, not too bad of a level, but we'll get into one of the first trolley levels, which is the first water level, which you can get some fairly rough patterns with the cheeps and the bloopers and all that. So we'll see how they manage to navigate those.
Yeah, it's funny when you play with warps. The only water section that you see is just in the castle. So here is a full-blown water level for you. And it's funny how the pits kind of like suck you in. And I always kind of wondered exactly why that happened when I was younger. But I recently heard someone compare it to being a drain. With them being plumbers with pipes and all that, and then that's like a drain. I don't know. Kind of makes sense.
Something like that.
I don't know why there's a drain in the middle of the ocean, but
So 50 getting a little close to some cheeps there. But he's still making it through there. SuperSonic has just finished. Tecate right behind him, and ACM not too far behind. And 50 got a few rough cheeps through there, but looks like he's going to make it through just fine.
I am definitely missing firepower right now.
And Tecate is just a little bit behind in his water level as well. So yeah, now we'll see how 2-3 is handled with 50%. You see ACMLM and SuperSonic just kind of running through, blasting everything with fire. You gotta watch out for cheeps a little bit. For the most part, if you're running full speed, most cheeps aren't that big of a problem, but every once in a while you get a really nasty one. 50% though is gonna have to stop for this mushroom, which he does, and we'll see how he carries that into the castle. Ooh, here comes the elevator trick for SuperSonic. Boom! That and then we'll see ACMLM get to it in a moment here if that wasn't enough time for you. So the trick here is you slide off, kind of ducking. Oh, he actually slowed down for it a little bit, took it just a little bit safer. I respect that in a race.
ACM taking care of Bowser. And 50 making his way through 2-4. Looks like he's going to possibly try to set up for small fire again, and we're going to see if he gets it here.
Oh, come on!
Uh-oh.
And, well,
spoilers 50.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I forget that y'all are on a delay.
Yeah, so he did the setup, but he didn't quite hit Bowser and the axe at the simultaneously, so he didn't get the trick on this one.
Yeah, so right, yep. So what he's trying to do is if you get hit by the Bowser and you hit the axe to finish the level on the same frame, something wonderful happens. No spoilers. I'm sure we'll see it at some point here.
So at least in the meantime, 50 looks like he's decided to go with Big Fire Mario. We'll see if he decides to change that up eventually or not. And 50 with a 6 at the end of 3-1. So that's going to give him 6 fireworks, which will cost him a little time, unfortunately. So the way the fireworks works in this game is if the last digit of your timer when you hit the flagpole, if it's a 1, 3, or a 6, you get respectively that many fireworks. So we don't really care about 1, but 3 and 6 will lose you a little bit of time there.
Yeah, you'll see players have to intentionally slow down every once in a while in order to avoid that. And 50% Gaming takes a death in 3-2. That's pretty brutal.
I didn't quite catch what happened there, but that's...
I don't know how to duck jump. That's what happened.
Yeah, duck jump into a pit. All right, so Supersonic looks to be in a bit of a lead here, getting into Castle 3-4. We're going to see how aggressively he takes these Potaboos. It looks like he's slowing down just a bit for him, which is definitely the safest way to go in a race setting. Now we'll see how ACMLM handles it. The thing about the 3-4 Potaboos... Oh, go ahead, Rupert.
Oh, I was saying, pretty much, especially in a race situation, it's usually better just to slow down a little bit in that section to get patterns that you can easily make it through. It is possible to know what the patterns are going to be, but you have to be on a really good pace, and usually you have to refer to like a spreadsheet and all this stuff, which is kind of extra things you have to take into consideration, where it's not really going to lose you that much time just to slow it down just a little bit so you can get through there safely.
Yeah, one thing to mention about that is that all of this game's RNG, quote-unquote, is all based on a timer that starts counting on the power of the system. And so if you are, like, world-class consistent at the game, or at the very least you're making, you're doing resets and making attempts, everything becomes predictable to an extent, due to, the fact that Mario runs at the same speed every time and all that kind of stuff. You very frequently are coming into levels on the same frame as last time, thus you're getting the same RNG as last time, and players actually have gotten to the point where they've built a spreadsheet to be able to predict, what's coming up based on where they are. So it's pretty nuts, the level of detail that this game has gotten into.
I saw Tecate, it looked like he was a little uncomfortable with that elevator jump there at the beginning of 4-2, so he backed it off there for a second. Played it safe and took the top route. And 50 is in 4-1. I saw that he unfortunately took a death. He didn't quite make it over one of the Potaboos in
that was
3-4.
intentional, so I would reset lives.
Yeah, so one thing to mention about that is that, one little code that most people, at least myself, maybe I'm projecting, but a lot of people don't know about is that, so if you game over in Super Mario Bros., when you hit start on one-player game again, it sets you back to 1-1. However, if you hold the A button as you select one-player game, it will return you to the first level of the world that you game overed on. Supersonic going for the 4-4 clip, didn't quite get it. But what that means is that, 50%, as he was just saying, since he was low on lives, he didn't want to get far into World 4, die accidentally, and have to reset the world. So instead, he intentionally died as quickly as possible so that he could continue with 3 lives and lose as little time as possible doing that for some safety.
Yeah, smart race move there. You don't want to get stuck in like a -4 level and then game over and have to start the entire world back over. So losing that small amount of time is definitely worth it in a situation of where you're doing a race. So smart play there.
So we're getting into World 5 now, which is sort of notoriously the most difficult world of the speedrun. I think a lot of people would agree. It's funny, though, because 5-1 isn't that bad. But starting on 5-2, things get really rough, and we'll see about that. Oh, right now, Supersonic's getting into 5, so there's this cannon at the start. He challenged it. There is a chance that cannon will just shoot you, and if you're going at full speed, there's not really anything that you can do to avoid it. It's also
challenging the cannon in the air and wins that challenge. But yeah, it is rather risky to go for. But both of them made it without any issues. ACM stopping to pick up a power up to deal with this hammer bro here. That's not a bad strat if you're not comfortable dealing with that hammer bro, to pick up the mushroom and jump off the edge of the top platform. You can usually kill the hammer bro and make it through there without issue.
Yeah, so one important thing about hammer bros, and this is something that's not a thing in Mario 35, which is driving everyone nuts, is the way that this game is programmed, is just when Mario collides with an enemy, if he is moving downward, he wins the exchange. He is considered to have stomped the enemy. And so that's a big part of actually learning to deal with hammer bros, especially when you're small, is sort of learning to just jump into their face. And as long as you are moving downward, you'll win the exchange. And because it's their face, you're not going to get hit by their hammers if they're throwing upward.
Supersonic making its way through 5-4. Tecate starting with 5-4. So you saw him wait there a little bit. So there's a pretty consistent strat that you can do here to get consistent fire bars through that section. So if you stand under the item block there and wait for the timer to get to 292, and then you start running, you'll get a consistent fire bar set up every time, which takes the guesswork out of trying to figure out how to deal with that section. So that's a pretty common strat that you'll see a lot of runners do.
All right, making it into World 6. This opening jump, you'll see a lot of players jump up onto these first couple question blocks and then jump off of them. And that, for some reason, gets Lakitu to not throw a Spiny. So it's just one of those very little things that you'll see a lot of people do. And then Supersonic in 6-2. I'm not sure if everybody's in the same spot. I had to just refresh Tecate's myself because I had him a bit behind. But 6-2 is a beautiful level to watch with firepower. One of the trickiest levels, as far as the speed run goes, 6-2 is probably one of the trickiest levels to learn and to kind of get your strats down. But it is, in my opinion, one of the most fun levels to flow through and one of the best levels to watch when someone knows what they're doing.
Let's see, 50 in 5-4. We're going to see if he's going to set up for small fire again. Oh, no, and he missed the jump on the elevator.
Well, we do have a mushroom in the castle, at least, so he does have a second chance at it here.
Let's see him go for it again here. Oh, he didn't get
the elevator
didn't get the duck that time. So pretty much for that jump, you have to be able to duck on that second elevator if you're big, because you won't make that jump otherwise. And unfortunately, he didn't get the duck there, so you won't be able to make that. Which is, I've had that same issue at times myself. So it's a pretty intimidating jump to make.
Yeah, I think one thing that's kind of tough to appreciate just from watching, if you haven't played a lot of this game yourself, is how difficult a duck jump can be to pull off. Because the thing is, you're on an 8-directional D-pad, right? But if you start holding down, but if you're holding down and right or down and left diagonally, you don't duck. Which means for that jump, you have to run off the edge and then make sure that you're holding down and only down in order to get the Mario to properly duck for you to be able to duck jump then off of the elevator.
And unfortunately, Tecate took a death to a firebar there. You see another level with a consistent firebar stretch. You saw Tecate hesitate there a little bit under the item block. That also sets up a consistent firebar pattern for this castle as well. So several little tricks that, especially playing as kids and stuff, like I didn't know stuff like that. I didn't know, hey, you can wait here and get a consistent setup. So
oh yeah, I mean, as a kid, I didn't even really consider what a consistent setup was.
Right. So it looks like Tecate made it through this time, and he is on 7-1. He's gonna stop here for a mushroom. Probably try to pick up the fire here at the end of the level as well.
Ooh, Supersonic had a bad blooper at the end of 7-2 that took his firepower away, and that's pretty brutal in 7-2 because this means that he's not going to be able to have firepower for the beginning of World 8 now, because the only power-up now between him and World 8 is just a Super Mushroom in 7-3, and that's it. And the reason that that's a big deal is just because 8-1 is just a much easier level to pull off with firepower, due to the number of piranha plants and in pipes and such that you have to jump off of. Someone asked in chat also how Supersonic was just running into, I'm guessing, the Hammer Bros. The reason is that he's waiting until like the last frame possible to throw a fireball. So he was using firepower to kill the Hammer Bros, but just waiting super long and shooting them basically on the last frame just because, I don't know, maybe it's fun.
Well, part of that, if that is correct, and you're talking about where you're shooting the Hammer Bros point blank, essentially, if you shoot them early, sometimes when you hit them, the hammers will go backwards, and you can accidentally run into the hammer. So that's a reason of why a lot of people like to shoot them pretty close, so that you have reduce the chance of that happening, because that all happens pretty quickly, and if you get a backwards hammer, it's pretty easy to run into one and lose your power up. So that's one of the reasons why people do that.
Yeah, that's a really.
It's also. I mean, it is also fun to do as well. I will admit, but.
Also, if you do try to shoot one early, there is a chance also that they might jump over the fireball. And then the thing is, you can only shoot 2 fireballs at once. If you have 2 fireballs on screen, you can't shoot anymore. So when you shoot and then they jump over it, that limits the number of fireballs that you now have until that one despawns.
We see Tecate elected not to pick up the power-up in 7.3, which that power-up in 7.3 is kind of risky, because when you stop to pick up that power-up, sometimes the cheap will just fly up and pretty much snipe you, in which sometimes you can accidentally bounce on one and end up in the pit, or sometimes they'll hit you as soon as you pick it up. So that's I feel like that's one of the things where like some of the players like to take the risk and pick it up, and some of them decide to just not do it. 7.4 is not a particularly difficult level as far as there's not really many enemies to speak of aside from Bowser. So yeah, some people like to go for that and some don't. And SuperSonic, I think it looked like he took a hit toward the end of 8.1, so he may pick up this mushroom here. Looks like he will. And then if he keeps us through 8.2, we'll see if he decides to pick up fire in 8.3. He may or may not decide to do that. He'll have to deal with some hammer bros to be able to pick that up. But we'll see what he decides to do here.
I saw SuperSonic did somewhat of a modified BBBB there. Like he did the first 3 Bs, but I don't know if he did the 4th one. But it worked. But yeah, the 6 on the timer did get him some fireworks. Also sitting at 99 coins. I really want to see him get this extra life. All right.
SuperSonic's going to pick that up, so that should make the rest of this level relatively easy. This level's a nightmare if you don't have fire. But it should be pretty smooth sailing for him through the rest of this. And we have ACM putting up a pretty solid performance here. I haven't seen him play SMB1 in quite some time, but I have seen him play it a bit in the past. He's putting up a solid run here.
Yeah, for the everything is looking pretty close here. My heart goes out to 50%, who's been spending this whole race trying to set up this really, really cool glitch that would impress everybody. But it's just not happening. It's costing him a lot of time.
He technically has one more shot at it. We'll see if he goes. We'll see if he goes for it or not. He may or may not. But
I'm going to.
Fair enough.
And then you'll have to do 8-1 as Biggie Smalls Mario, though.
Yep, it's going to be really rough.
50 is up to the challenge.
All right, SuperSonic is in 8-4, by the way, coming up into the last room right now. Take it away, Rupert.
And over the pipe, shoot the hammer bro. He's going to take a hit here. That's fine. He's got enough iframes to make it through. And SuperSonic is in first place here. And looks like ACM's getting ready to start 8-4. So looks like he's in pretty good standing to secure second place here.
Yeah, that Podoboo just before Bowser can be such a pain. However, if you aren't small, it gives you enough iframes to just jump through the Bowser. But if you are small, then you really got to be careful with it.
And Tecate played it risky and going all the way through 8-3 without stopping for a power-up. So good job by Tecate making it through there. That could be pretty tricky sometimes, depending on the patterns you get. But he made it through no problem.
Yeah, which means, like, not to curse anything about that Podoboo that I was talking about, but if ACMLM makes a mistake in 8-4 here, that means that Tecate will have taken up second place.
Imagine he'll take it easy here.
Oh
boy! All right, forward Bowser, and ACM is done.
Yeah, that was excellent. Careful with the Podoboo to make sure not to get jump into a low one. Also dodging the hammers under the Bowser. That was a beautiful last room. Now Tecate coming into the water section here. Also as Small Mario.
Into the final room. We'll see him do the hammer bro bop here. He's going to back off for the Podoboo so he doesn't get hit and gets a forward Bowser. Oh, is he going to try it? Oh, he was trying to do the double kill there at the end. So if you're small and you kind of do the same thing, that small fire glitch, and unfortunately 50 took a hit to a fireball, so he's not going to be able to get the glitch there.
I tried so hard, y'all. I tried.
But so what happens is if you touch Bowser and the X at the same time, like Tecate is trying to do, you'll get the death animation, and then the screen will scroll over, but Mario won't be there because he died. So in this instance, it'd be just the princess by herself.
And also, I was gonna say also it plays the fanfare, and then after the fanfare is done, it plays the death jingle.
Yeah, it's a pretty funny little trick.
All right, so 50% is going through 8-1 small here. We saw he's doing some strats that are too far gone to talk about, but as you can see, what we were saying with where firepower makes such a big difference in this level, it's because of the number of high pipes where the optimal strategy would be to jump on the lip of it and then over the piranha plant, but that's just so risky to do in a race that you would much rather have firepower, shoot the plant, and then safely jump off of it.
I did refill my lives for the upcoming Gauntlet of 8-3.
Oh yeah. So 8-2 has that super fun big stair jump in the beginning. We'll see. We'll see if 50% goes for the safety shroom here. He does not. He's just all out, balls to the wall. What is it? BBBB.
Oh no!
Uh-oh, what's gonna happen here?
Oh, we missed the last one.
By the way, I just want to point out, though, despite how unfortunate that death was, that Moo Mooney made it to Vegas in the desert bus just now. 8 hours nonstop of driving. And now he's actually starting to do the way back because he's crazy like that. And we met the incentive.
Wait, you got the same driver on the return trip?
Yep.
Oh, I hope he's got his pet pills ready.
I told him to get a diaper or something. He told me I have a bunch of empty soda 2 liters bottle, so we're good.
Okay, good. So he drank the soda, but then he's got got the bottles to return the soda to later.
Exactly. I mean, what goes in needs to come out, right?
All right, 50% taking the ending of 8-2 just a little slower that time, and he makes it through. We get into the gauntlet of 8-3, and we'll see how much safety he takes on it. You never know.
And yeah, we'll see what he does here. 1 life on 8-3.
I'd just like to remind everyone that we're $220 away from turning that any percent 8-4 run for Super Mario Bros. The Lost Level to an any percent D4 run. So keep those donations coming. We're so close. We don't want to miss this. Let's do it, everyone. $10 donation train will get us there. Or could it be a $10 donation bus?
And, I mean, if you guys haven't seen, you guys might not know what D4 exactly means. Not everybody in Lost Levels. So, Mario 1 and 2 both have 8 worlds. But then Mario 2, first of all, it's 8 worlds. And when I say 2, I mean Lost Levels. Its 8 worlds are notoriously much, much, much harder than the first games. But then there's also worlds A, B, C, and D that are even another tier above that of difficulty. And they are super, super fun to watch and just really cool levels that do some really crazy things that, you kind of expect in... It's like Mario Maker before Mario Maker, with some of the really wacky obstacles that they put in front of you.
Unfortunately, 50 didn't make it past the 1-block staircase section at the end of 8-3, so he's got to start...
I'm just trying to give them more money to donate.
Yeah, I was going to say, I got to commend
more time,
50% Gaming for stretching this out and giving us a chance to meet that last incentive. Come on, people, don't let it all be in vain. Get those donations coming for 50.
Come on, friends.
We need 50% more donations to unlock Monster Hunter.
All right, into 8-2. This is one of my favorite levels in the game, but man, in a race, it is so nerve-wracking because of this ending section here. I'm not exactly sure how synced I am with you guys, but firstly, there's this basically, after the large pit, there's this section with the 3 Koopas in front of the cannon that is just the bane of my existence. And also, I think that's the hardest staircase in the game. The 8-3 staircase looks more intimidating because a lot of the base of it is gone, but the 8-2 one actually has a bigger gap in it.
Well, we got a $6.09 donation from Kelsey who says, have fun, guys. Rupert, nice. And Mad Dog Xander donated $19.87 and says, I'm trying.
Ooh, excellent double Hammer Bro stomp there. Going for the safety shroom.
Will it pick up fire? Probably not. Ooh, he may pick up the mushroom now. If he doesn't scroll the screen too far.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, clutch.
He's got it.
Didn't buffer out of the power-up grab, though? Oh, it didn't even need it. Gracefully bounds over all 4 Hammer Bros. Pacifist style, didn't stomp any of them. Didn't get hit by any of them.
Is this a point in time to tell everybody that I don't run Large Mario ever?
At least you're just Big Mario and not Biggie Smalls Mario.
Yeah, true story.
All right, so into 8-4. The big jump over the start, jumping straight into that pipe.
Well, would you say that
wall jump room?
Would you say that once together, Mario and Luigi are a 2-pack Mario Brothers? I'm going to say myself
I give that a B-.
I mean, save the puns ahead, so I gotta honor the bid war, the ongoing bid war. Want the puns to stop, you gotta donate.
We saw 50 initiated duck swim there. It didn't last too long, and here we are in the final room.
And Bob's hits the Potaboo, that's fine. He's gonna make it to the axe. In the meantime, SuperSonic performs the a soft log.
And Ambigaz donated $10.50 saying, "You got this, 50."
Yeah, stomped the Hammer Bro with style.
But GG's to everyone. That was a pretty fun race.
Also, I didn't mention earlier, but so Supersonic's time was a sub 20, which if you run warpless, sub 20 is kind of like a really, really big benchmark to hit. So to see it so consistently that you get it in a race is very neat.
Well, that was a thing that happened. GG's to all the other runners, by the way.
GG's to everyone, and Tecate is already in the setup room to get ready for the next run. I just want to say though, we are so freaking close to making it for D4. I mean, we got minutes. We got like a good 10 minutes before the next run starts. But I just want to say, if everyone gets on top of that donation bus, we can make it. Once again, 50%, ACMLM, Dash Retro, Grouper, Supersonic, and Tecate. Thank you very much, everyone, for an amazing, very entertaining race. 50% went ahead for the memes and for the crazy text and for the showmanship, and I can respect that.
Oh, it was great to see. I don't know what I'm trying to say. My heart goes out to you.
That's all right. I mean, it happens. Going into this race, I knew that I wasn't going to be the one showcasing speed exactly, so I was just like, let's have fun for the memes and everything.
I would say you can tell yourself this: you got 50% of the second place.
There you go, perfect. Also, thank you, Electronic Logic. Looking forward for that raid, by the way. Looking forward to your coming up.
Oh, speaking of which, we got Jen the Bug who donated $5.19 saying, "Loving this Mario block. Apparently, donating in French is the thing to do. Unfortunately, I don't speak French, but I do know the most important words. Merci beaucoup." And merci beaucoup right back at you, Jen the Bug. Thank you so much. Alright, so we're going to go get ready for Tecate's Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels run, which may or may not be any percent D4. It's still up in the air, and only you can change that at home. So keep those donations coming. Exclamation donate in chat will give you the link if you don't feel like clicking away. And with that being said, We're going to go to a quick transition, quick setup, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.